My topic focused on the practice of incineration as a form of getting rid of dead animals on farm. Incineration is the burning of animal carcasses and is done by thermal destruction. Some common ways that this is done is by propane, natural gas, and diesel. After burning, the carcass is reduced to ash, which can then be recycled for other purposes to use on the farm. The metals that were reduced are taken out with magnets, and that ash can then be used in cements and other building materials. Incineration is better for small animals as they are often easier to handle, and the most common animals that are incinerated are poultry and swine. There are benefits to using incineration that are not seen in the other methods. First, there is not a need for temporary storage of carcasses because they can be placed in the incinerator as soon as they are found. Diseases can also be eradicated with the incinerator because the heat will kill pathogens and bacteria. Having an incinerator allows the producer to have more control over his farm. They choose when to use the incinerator and the best options for their farm. One of the major downsides of incineration is that it is costly to implement. Large animal producers may not see this as beneficial because they do not have as many mortalities as a small animal producer. Maintenance is also needed for the incinerator, and this includes regular cleaning and fixing broken parts. Another problem is that when burning the carcasses, odors are often produced and released into the air, which can be an issue with neighbors. This is especially an issue when open burning, because open burning is not allowed in all states due to the odor issue. Along with open burning, the incineration has to occur away from public view to decrease any discrepancies on welfare that people who see it may have. There are many variations of the incinerator, with a poultry incinerator being one of them. A poultry incinerator can also be used to dispose of any wastes that are found in the house, and the resulting ash will be high in vitamins and minerals. This can be spread along with the manure to provide adequate nutrients for growing crops. Cattle and sheep incinerators are also being implemented more due to rising costs of landfills and rendering. Sheep incinerators are also a form of heat exchange because the waste of the animals can be used to create heat or hot water to be used on site. This picture is an example of a typical poultry incinerator, and we can see that it is smaller compared to a large animal incinerator, which we will see in the following slide. A cattle incinerator is larger in comparison to a small animal incinerator, and this can be shown by the length of the body because the animal is larger. A sheep incinerator is similar to a cattle one, but the only difference is that it has a shorter body because the length of the body on a sheep is not as large as cattle. A couple of other methods to dispose of animal carcasses include burial and rendering. Burial is common for poultry producers and can prevent any odors if done in a timely manner. This method is only used for animals that are not diseased, as groundwater can become contaminated, because when burial takes place, they have to be buried in trenches underground, and a lot of states or government have regulations onto how deep and how far away these trenches must be from the facility. The groundwater, if it is contaminated, can be harmful to humans and animals. And rendering is used to convert carcasses to useful byproducts by applying high heat and pressure. It is also the most economical form of on-site disposal, and pathogens and bacteria are killed by the high heat, but biosecurity is still an issue beforehand when carcasses are being transported. Carcasses have to be transported to the rendering facility, and if they are contaminated, they may spread diseases.